Welcome everybody, my name is Hector Rivas. Today you're going to learn how to do custom gradients using Illustrator to create vector gradients. So let's get started. You're going to open up Illustrator. You're going to create a new document. 8.5 by 11 is fine. And this is how you create a custom gradient. First, create a rectangle. I'm using the rectangle tool here. Have it stroke none, but fill a specific color, like yellow. I'm going to copy, paste in front, and I'm going to put another color here. Let's say black. And we want to create a gradation from yellow to black. So now let's create a rectangle underneath it. And we're going to fill this one with a color that gradiates from yellow to black, so a gradient. So the tool that we're going to use is this tool right here, the gradient tool. Click on it, but double click. And then it should launch this tool right here. It defaults to this grayscale gradient. So if I click here, you see that it has a grayscale gradient. Now, what I want to do is I want to click on this gradient slider on the left-hand side and on the right-hand side. And I want to change those from white, this white one, to yellow. So I am going to double click on it. And right now it's giving me this grayscale range. That is because it's defaulting to grayscale. So if I go to the upper right-hand corner here and I turn it to RGB, now I have all the colors to choose from. So I'm going to choose yellow. And now you see that my yellow slider is here and my black slider is there. So the object that I have selected, in this case is this rectangle, is gradiating from yellow to black. Now, this centerpiece here, it's the midpoint. So I can move my midpoint to the left or to the right to modify the gradation. Left to right. Now, if I want to add a different color, let's say I wanted to go from yellow to black and then to green. I'll move my black slider here to the center point. So watch what I'm doing here. Moving my black slider. It was here. I'm sliding it here. And then I'm going to go to this corner here. And notice it has a white arrow plus. Here is, I'm going to click on it. And it gives me a new slider with a new midpoint. And this slider here, I'm going to double click on it. Turn it to RGB. And let's say I want it to go to green, like a light green. Now it's green. You can see my rectangle that I have selected, it changed, and I can change my midpoint. If I don't like this mid color, I can double click on it and change it to a different color. Let's say I wanted to go to orange. So it's yellow to orange to green. And I can change my midpoints. If I decide that I want to swap the colors, look what I can do here. I'll take this green and I'll bring it to this side. And now the green color's in the center. Now let's say you want not a linear gradient, but maybe a gradient that is like a 45-degree angle. I can go up here to my angle and I can change it to 45 degrees. And look what happens here. Type in 45. And now my gradient is going yellow to green to orange in this format. And I can even tweak it here if I want to, in this preview. So I can make those type of edits. If later on, once I get my gradient to look the way I want it, let's say this is the gradient that I want, what I do is I copy it, I go to my character art, in this case let's say it's Mickey, I'm going to scale Mickey here. And I'll paste my gradient underneath it. And I use the eyedropper tool to select it and then paint the items that I want to have that color. See, now Mickey's shorts have that gradient in his shoes. Okay, your turn to test it out. Thank you for watching. This concludes this lesson.